Hi there, I'm Sylvia Plester-Silk, and 10 Minutes to Joy is your weekly invitation to reset, recharge, and rediscover your most joyful self through aha moments and simple energy techniques. Today, we're talking about burnout. Hi, I'm Sylvia. Let's get started. How does burnout and joy come together? Well, burnout tends to eat away all of the joy in your life. So, when I'm talking about burnout, what am I talking about? I'm talking about that level of stress and exhaustion one feels when they have chronically been in high stress, low relaxation, little joy lifestyle. Back in 1997, I personally experienced a severe burnout. I was working in an environment that was 100% toxic for me. I developed a agitated depression, it was called. And how that played out was I was snarky, I was negative, I was critical with other people. And yet, even though I am a self-aware person, I wasn't aware that I was doing these things. I would get feedback from some caring people on the team that I seemed very vulnerable. And it made me really angry because I think I'm a strong person. However, in that time in my life, I had neglected my own needs and denied the struggles that I was having to the point that I wasn't honoring myself in any way, shape, or form. I had neglected myself. And I ended up on antidepressants for quite a time, for a couple of years, I think it was, if I remember accurately, until I actually left the toxic environment. And then I found that I didn't need them anymore. I'm not saying that everybody that experiences burnout is going to get clinically depressed like I did. However, I want everybody to avoid that level of burnout. I, Miss Talkative, was unable to speak for 3 days. I would grunt. If someone called me, it took effort. I got so exhausted that my dog at the time would realize that I didn't see any of her cues that she needed let out. And so she would stomp her feet repetitively until I let her out. I was off work for a period of time and made a decision to start to look after myself above all. And I hope to this day I'm still honoring that choice and decision that I made to put myself first. So, what are some of the symptoms of burnout? It's when we start to lose interest in things that generally have brought us joy. Our appetite might change, and it can change in a couple of ways. It can change to the point of there's a disinterest in food and you just don't want to eat. So you're eating things that are really easy and possibly a lot of carbs and sugar because they're easy and in processed foods. You might be having trouble sleeping. Either you're having difficulty getting to sleep, difficulty staying asleep, or on the converse, you might be oversleeping as a way to avoid and trying to feel some comfort and fuel that exhausted part of yourself. Generally, there you might have a different level of irritability, and for you it may not come out as snarky as it did for me. It just might be that you don't have the patience that you normally have, or you're just not quite as loving with others or yourself as you normally are. You may start to experience aches and pains like headaches or tension in the shoulders or back aches that just don't seem to go away, and they're low and they're just difficult and hard to be with. Um, you might be craving chocolate. I know for me, this has been a vice for many, many years, and I'm happy to say it's recently left me. I'm no longer addicted to chocolate. You might be wanting to indulge in more alcohol use or more drug use, just as ways to try and get some pleasure in a life that feels just so heavy with so many demands on it. And at work, you might have loss of productivity. So, how do we, A, recognize that we are in burnout? Number one, we have to stop, take a time out, and really look at what level of pleasure am I having? Where are the stressors in my life? And where are the joy activities in my life? Am I having fun? Yes, that F word, fun, is extremely important. What are you doing? Is there a balance there? Or do you have like 90% is responsibility, and then once all those responsibilities get done, then you have your 10% of joy or enjoyment? That's not good enough. You want to balance it. And certainly we talk about work-life balance, and is that even a possibility? But how can you take stolen moments out of your day to have joy? And so it can be simple things like sharing a joke with a friend or connecting with your pet or going and being in nature and relaxing and connecting, making a date to get out with some friends. If you're a parent and involved with your with young children, whether those are your children or grandchildren, possibly doing fun stuff with them that you would also enjoy and allow yourself to get down and play without that judgment of adults shouldn't do this. Discover your personal boundaries. What is really important to you? I have certain boundaries based on my values. So there's certain places that I'll go and have activities in, and other places that I will not cross the threshold because it doesn't give me joy. It actually feels like I'm betraying part of myself, and we cannot afford to do that. Once you discover what your personal boundaries are, and there's lots of questionnaires uh, on Google that you can just Google values assessment. Barrett's Value Center is very good at this. And you can do a questionnaire, and I believe they have a free questionnaire for you to learn what your values are. Then start to look at how are those values shown in my everyday life? Am I in joy much? Am I doing things that feel like a violation of what's most central and important to you? Because if you are, it's time to make choice to be elsewhere. For example, in the job that I was part of, it was a for-profit institution, and people that didn't have money were being treated very differently or not at all in comparison to people with money. So people with money could get addiction treatment much, much faster than those people in our community that had no funds. And that rubbed me the wrong way because I believe in equality and that everybody deserves health care and to be cared for as a valuable member of our society. How can you fuel your body? So if you think about burnout as an empty tank of gas, what's the gasoline you can be putting in the tank? It may be more fun and activities, connecting more with friends that are nurturing and supportive of you. It may be that you need to see a therapist or go get some energy work done or go to an osteopath or go for massage therapy, go for a facial, get your nails done, whatever that is for you that feels nurturing, that fills up that gas tank again. You want to think about how can you eat more nutritious foods. So lots of proteins, lots of greens, vegetables, and that kind of thing. Take regular timeouts. Not punishment. No, 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 no. But timeouts, time out from your day. How can you get away from your computer if you're spending lots of time on the computer? How can you just take a mini vacation or a full-on vacation? And vacation could be a staycation. So it may not be that you need to have a lot of money, but what are the free activities that you could do in your area that actually have interest, or things that are within your price range that you can do? Get out and have some physical activity. If you can't get outside because the weather's nasty, and I know we're supposed to be having spring right now, but it does not feel it. Get up, put your favorite music on, and have a dance party. And you can have a dance party of one. I do it. Alicia Keys, This Girl Is on Fire. I cannot sit in my seat for that song. I get up and I dance, and I get some great endorphins happening, and I feel happy. I feel better. Get support. Talk to somebody, whether it's a therapist or an energy worker, whether it's just a really good friend that listens without piling their stuff on you. Just get support. You are worthy of support. You are worthy of setting boundaries and really starting to take care of yourself, because as you take care of yourself, you are also showing other people how important it is to do that and showing other people the path. But first, let's make sure that you're being nurtured and looked after. Because if your gas tank is empty and your neighbor runs out of gas, you ain't got nothing to give them. So make sure that you're filling up your own personal gas tank of energy so that you never get less than half full. I would say even quarter full, or 3/4 full, I mean. You want to make sure that you're feeding your mind, body, and soul on a consistent basis so that you can have more joy in your life. That's all for today. Remember, your emotional freedom isn't found in controlling everything around you, but in releasing what no longer serves you. Each breath is an invitation to let go and embrace your most joyful and authentic self. Have a great week. Please rate and review 10 Minutes to Joy so that we can get the voice out there. Thank you.